1 or 2 doses, especially if you've been nutrient deprived for years or decades. That's one of the neatest things about nutritional supplementation is the more you need the nutrients, the more deprived your nutrients, the more deprived you are of nutrients, the more deficient you are of nutrients, the faster your body will absorb them, the quicker you're going to notice results. If you haven't tried the Beyond Tangy Tangerine yet and you're dealing with high blood pressure issues, you're on prescription drugs, or you know somebody who's dealing with high blood pressure issues, or you know somebody who's on prescription drugs, or you know somebody who's got Alzheimer's disease, you know somebody whose body is falling apart, give it a shot. Watch what happens. It's $50 a canister, folks. That's not a lot of money for the kind of results that you're going to get. And if you're listening to this program, you're already qualified. You're pre-qualified to understand the power of nutritional supplementation. If you're listening to this program and you haven't tried the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, please give it a shot. It will change your life. It's $50 a canister. You can find out all about it at brightsideben.com, or you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. Okay, so we're talking cell chemistry. Cells are little animals. In fact, when cells were first discovered in the 17th century, they were actually called animalcules. Can you imagine what this was like? The first guy who discovered cells was the guy who invented the microscope. His name was Robert Hooke, and he was a glass guy, and he was working with lenses. And he put some lenses together, and lo and behold, he developed this lens that could magnify things, and he started to stick things in under the lens. First thing he did was pond scum, I believe. It was like some kind of pond fluid. And then he started doing his bodily fluids. He stuck them under the microscope. It's like, oh, my God. There's all these little things in there. Now, before this, you can just imagine, before around 1660 or 1670, when this occurred, nobody knew that water contained tiny little particles that were alive, that moved around. This was a mind-blowing revelation, and it hasn't been that long. It's only been about 400 years or so that we've really understood that everything that's alive is made up of these tiny little animals. Animalcules is what they call them. Up until the 1970s, in fact, cells were thought to be bags, just fluid-filled bags that had various substructures that were kind of scattered around randomly within the internal milieu, the internal environment of a cell. Today we know that the interior of a cell is packed with substructures, trillions of molecules and various substructures that are geographically located within the cells, within these little blobs, in just the right specific location within that blob. And these substructures, they're called organelles. These substructures are organelles, and there's many, many thousands of these. They're all densely designed in this densely compacted fashion with a specifically organized geography, topography, with compartments that are held in place in specific patterns. You guys, this has got to be, I cannot be the only person who's blown away by this concept. This is what we're made of. This is what our bodies are made of. And to go to a doctor and get a prescription drug that poisons these systems is the craziest idea. And it has nothing to do with health. And it's the reason why we got more doctors per capita in this country and more drugs per capita in this country than ever before in the history of mankind. And yet we are the sickest culture in the history of mankind because we don't understand how to address the substructures of the body. The most critical component of the cell, the only part without which a cell is going to die, is the membrane, the outside component, the coating on a cell. It's also called the plasma membrane, and it's basically a tiny sliver of oily material that's 10,000 times thinner than a piece of notebook paper. Can you imagine this? Look at a piece of notebook paper divided up in your mind's eye by 10,000 times. And that's how small this little sliver is that coats the cell. And this little sliver, as we've said so many times in this program, that's made up of oils and fats mostly, is the brain of a cell, the membrane of a cell, the information processor of a cell, the part of a cell that turns the external world, the environment that cell is sitting in, into all of the various functions of the cell. Via this cell membrane, the environment that the cell is sitting in is transformed into the various functions that occur inside a cell. The functions of a cell depend on the environment that the cell is sitting in. Why is this important? Because we control the environment. by the foods we eat, the nutrients we take in, the toxins we ingest, including prescription drugs, and via the thoughts we think and the feelings we feel. So the membrane is reading the environment of the cell. The environment is controlled by our decisions, if you will, by our lifestyle. The membrane also plays a role as a portal for the entrance of nutrients into a cell, or for toxins out of a cell, or unfortunately sometimes for toxins into the cell. And the membrane functions as a resting place for hormones, which fit snugly into openings in this membrane called receptors. And these receptors, this interaction between hormones and receptors, makes everything happen inside a cell. It's all dependent on the shape and the integrity of the membrane. Hope you're getting a sense of how important this cell membrane is. And because the cell membrane is composed of fats, any issues with fat metabolism or the health of the intestines or the pancreas or the gallbladder or the stomach or the liver is going to play a role in how fats are processed and is going to affect the integrity of the membrane. This is why we hit fat metabolism and digestion and fat processing so hard on this program. The intestines, the pancreas, the gallbladder, the stomach, and the liver all are super, super important for the processing of fats. If you have a liver problem, 1 out of 3 Americans has non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. If you have an intestinal problem, 60 million Americans have some kind of intestinal problem. If you have a pancreas or gallbladder problem, 50,000 gallbladders are removed every year. And that doesn't include all the people who have gallbladder problems who don't have their gallbladders removed. If you have a stomach problem, if you're not making enough stomach acid, if you're not even chewing your food correctly, all of these are going to impact how you process fats. And then you're going to go to the doctor, and he's going to put you on a statin drug. He's not going to check your fat digestion. He's not going to make sure that your liver is working correctly. He's not going to tell you to use essential fatty acids or vitamin E or vitamin A. He'll put you on a statin drug. And what's that going to do? That's going to further shut down how your body processes fats. If you have a problem with fat digestion, you're going to have a problem with multiple systems in the body. Fats, and not to mention, you're going to have a problem with the cell membrane, which is 60 to 70% composed of fats. If fats aren't being made correctly, if we're deficient in essential fatty acids, EFAs, the ultimate EFAs from longevity, cell membranes can become porous, toxins can enter into the cell, and this will disrupt cellular activities. If you're not on your essential fatty acids, if you're not having a problem processing cholesterol, if you're on a statin drug, by the way, the cell membrane contains large amounts of cholesterol. Large amounts of cholesterol help maintain the strength and the integrity of the membrane. Tell that to the next boneheaded medical professional who wants to put you on a statin drug. If you don't have strong, solid membranes, because you're not making cholesterol correctly, you're not getting enough fats, toxins can get into a cell, and that can cause big trouble. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got lots more to say, and we're going to take your phone calls when we come back from our break. 855-660-4261 is our number. You're listening to The Brightside.
Men who want intimacy and pleasure back in their love life don't ask if, they ask when. So men, spark up your love life, get pleasure and intimacy back, and please your special lady with Epic Nights. Epic Nights is a safe, revolutionary herbal sexual formula for men that combines ancient herbal ingredients and modern science to significantly support stamina, performance, and pleasure. Men, Epic Nights is a proven 100% natural product that works first time, every time, even after consuming alcohol. And you won't hear any of those cliche disclaimers, men, because Epic Nights will not give you unwanted side effects, but Epic Nights will allow you to give your partner what they deserve. Epic Nights is guaranteed as one of the most effective male enhancers on the web, or will refund your purchase 100%. Buy Epic Nights at buyepicnights.com, spelled BUYEPICNIGHTS.com, or call 1-877-330-1120, 877-330-1120. Epic Nights. One pill. One Epic Night.
Americans have always been ready to defend, to serve, and to honor those who defended and are defending all of us. So this month, the Freeze-Dry Guy honors and serves Americans with our meat, rice, and potato sale. Our unit includes 4 No. 10 cans of quality Mountain House cooked diced beef, ground beef, diced chicken, white rice, and 2 cans of FDG dehydrated diced potatoes. 158 servings per case unit. And during the Freeze-Dry Guy's meat, rice, and potato sale, get 1 case for only $1.75 $179, 2 cases for only $355, or get 3 cases for only $515. And all come with lots of valuable freebies. For details, click freezedryguy.com and hurry. Sale ends soon. Go to freezedryguy.com or call 866-404-3663. That's 866-404-FOOD. Plus free shipping to the lower 48 states from the Freeze Dry Guy. The finest freeze-dried and dehydrated foods available anywhere for long-term storage.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right. General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
A little right, a little left, but always independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network, GC.
All right, we're back on the Brightside. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central. 24/7 on our archive page at brightsideben.com. You can also search programs at benfuchsarchives.com. There's a search box, and if you miss a program or you want to look up a topic, you can just punch in whatever topic you're looking for, and the shows will come up. Thank you to Peter in the UK for setting that up. Also want to encourage you to check out my blog, pharmacistben.com. Thank you to Robert Lundgren. And please check out the fine longevity products at brightsideben.com, or call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. Get on the Healthy Start Pack and watch your health improve. Get on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and watch your energy levels improve. Get on the BioLumin Nightly Essence and watch your digestion improve. I'm not telling you this just because I want you to buy a product. I'm telling you this because for the last 17 years, I've seen incredible results, dramatic results, and I get emails every day, literally every day, verifying the kind of results, corroborating the kind of results that I've seen personally for 17 years. You can find out all about it by calling the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470 or clicking on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com. Okay, tomorrow we'll continue talking about the plasma membrane, the cell membrane, the brain of the cell, and what you can do to build healthy cell membranes via digestive strategies and nutritional strategies, not necessarily targeting specific